Mike Gallagher. Every day, Mike visits with Mark Davis, morning host on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas. Here's today's M&M Experience.
So yesterday, we've got the IRS whistleblowers who proved over and over again that the entire Biden family is, garbage. The same goes for rotten Merrick Garland and corrupt Christopher Wray. And of course, do you realize that CNN, MSNBC, the mainstream media, they didn't touch it. They didn't touch the whistleblower
testimony. Nope.
Can you imagine? I thought the left liked whistleblowers.
They like some whistleblowers. This was journalistic malpractice.
It was journalistic malpractice. Well, it's like the Five. I mean, I've been talking. I spent a lot of time yesterday. Five didn't even mention the epic, threat of Trump being arrested again. Yeah. It's a huge story. It's an absolute affront to our Constitution. We're witnessing a banana republic, dictator crap. You got Biden's Justice Department wanting to incarcerate his chief political rival. The Five didn't even mention it. How could they not? Now, that they wanted to.
And A, shows can do what they want. But B, if you are a show that offers itself up, that positions itself as the place where five opinionated people sit around and talk about the top news stories of the day, how in the world do you ignore that? So it's funny. You just said, they wanted to. So what theory do you have? Do you think that the individually, that the Jesse Waterses and the Greg Gutfeld,
Jeanine Pirro,
maybe even the Harold Fords, I don't know, wanted to talk about this, but a memo came down that said, don't.
Those decisions are not been made by accident. That's not an accidental thing. And so people who say that the board member Paul Ryan and the Murdochs, they just because frankly this only helps Trump. I'm so fascinated by the Salem Media Group's straw poll. We're doing a presidential straw poll.
How are those going?
Well, let me share some numbers. I got some last night, and literally thousands of people are participating. And so you got on the network level, you got Gallagher, Hewitt, Prager, Gorka, Tatum, Metaxas.
Can you give me everybody, all the shows all put together? Can you give me the whole thing?
Yeah, the grand total overall is Trump 62%, DeSantis 23%.
Okay.
Now,
and then everybody else just lollygagging in single digits, right?
Well, right. Oh, yeah. Nobody else. Vivek Ramaswamy looks like he's the one that's the 6%, 5%, but it's Trump or DeSantis. Mm-hmm. And let's be real, it's Trump or DeSantis. No disrespect to my friend Larry Elder. I know Chris Christie sure wants to make a run.
No.
So anyway, but then it gets fascinating to break it down by show.
Yes,
I think this is so crazy.
Yeah.
So here's the numbers as of last night. For the Gallagher show, 82% for Trump. 9% for DeSantis.
Gotcha.
Prager, 2-1 Trump over DeSantis, like 56% to 23% DeSantis. Gorka, 90% Trump, DeSantis, 6%.
Absolutely.
Brandon Tatum, 76% Trump. Ron DeSantis, 9%. Metaxas, 68% Trump, 21% DeSantis.
Wait for it.
Hugh Hewitt, 45% DeSantis and only 27% Donald J. Trump. Trump is now bludgeoning DeSantis over homeowners insurance rates in Florida. Trump is going on the attack, pointing out that Florida is a disaster when it comes to homeowners insurance. Now, this is not a political talking point. I just talked to our newsman here in Tampa Bay, Roger P. Schulman. Trump's right. It's a nightmare. In fact, people are having their homeowners insurance policies canceled left and right. The Florida legislature has failed Floridians terribly on this issue.
What should they have done? What's the problem and what needed to be done?
Well, DeSantis has signed a lot of bills that aim to reduce litigation and fraud, which is, of course, a driver of high insurance premiums. I'm reading this from PolitiFact, but the fact is the cost of homeowners insurance there's all the, I don't even understand a lot of it. Here's what I do know. I'm a homeowner, and my insurance guy told me last week, Mike, hate to break it to you, we're going to have to more than double your insurance, in homeowners insurance, more than double. I just talked to Roger. Roger's homeowners insurance was canceled on him. He had to get a new policy, and because of that, they needed to get an inspection, and because of that, he had to replace a roof to the tune of $25,000. Mark, people are moving out of Florida because they can't afford the homeowners insurance. It is bad. It's a bad situation, and it will be a campaign talking point because Trump is all over it, and objectively speaking, Trump is right. And so if you want to put it, and I don't know, you can put
couple of things. Well, that's what I was going to say. There needs to, for something to resonate and to sprout legs nationally, you got to make the other 49 states care about it. What malfeasance or neglect? What obvious thing should DeSantis? You got to lay it at his feet. You got to make it his fault. And so maybe that.
Well, number two.
Exists,
well, 2 points. Your two things are correct, and you just nailed it. I don't know that the other 49 states are going to care. And number two, I don't know that it's necessarily to be DeSantis's fault. It's just that when you go with the philosophy of the buck stops here. Let me tell you another interesting thing about Florida, and I wonder if this is happening in other states. And Texas came up in the conversation I had yesterday with my landscaper. So I've got a property where I'm having yard work done. I'm having an irrigation system put in. And I'm going to have landscaping. Well, it's dragged on for months. It's ridiculous. And I called the guy yesterday. I said, what's going on? He said, Mike, I can tell you what's going on. We're waiting for the irrigation people to come and install the irrigation system in your yard. Right. And he said, here's the problem. Florida's climate right now, legislatively, with illegals, with the immigration problem, the new Florida illegal immigration laws have collapsed that industry. And he said 80% of the workforce in the irrigation company that we're working with, they've skipped town. They've left the state.
They can't find workers. They can't find workers.
They can't. And you know where they're headed, he said? They're going to Texas.
Well, okay.
So this is interesting. So I guess this is an E-Verify thing, right? I mean, I think, and as I understand it, Florida's all about, hey, 25 employers or more, we're going to crack down on E-Verify. You better be legal. So here's a dilemma. And this is I'll put it to you, Mr. Fellow homeowner. A friend of mine asked me this yesterday. If it's between getting your yard work done and the irrigation system put in and using illegals for the labor, what do you do?
Nope. I cannot on principle knowingly be a party to illegal immigration and supporting it.
You're right. Me either. Me either. And finally, let's get this in.
But I can hear people yelling at the radio. It's like, well, wait, what does this mean? Because I think that maybe haven't you and I over the years said that it's kind of a myth that if we don't have illegals, that won't there be other people will rush in and get those jobs. Surely the marketplace will solve this problem. And in some cases, it appears just not to be happening.
It's not happening. It's not happening in Florida. There's some real problems in Florida, and I wonder why. How about Jason Aldean's song? Buddy. Try it in a small town.
Try that in a small town.
I got some insight on what the progressives are really mad about because I thought it can't be the courthouse. The courthouse, okay, there was a lynching in 1927. Meanwhile, there were all kinds of Hallmark movies and Paramount movies shot there. So that's not it.
It's the message.
Well, what's the message? What's the message they are offended by?
Real Americans, real people saying enough to rioting and gun grabbing.
But it's more than that. I got some insight from that Jessica Tarloff. Now I'm mad at the 5 and Fox. So I'm not watching Fox News these days. I'll probably get over it one of these days.
What insight does she bring?
But I saw Derek played a clip for me. Here's what they're mad at. They're mad at the fact that the message really is in small towns we have guns, and if you commit crime or do things in our small towns, we'll shoot you. She said that. She actually said that. That's what they're mad about. They don't like people with guns, which is why they don't like Republicans.
And you know who's thoroughly frosted, and this kills me. It's another one of these because I love this woman. I love her. You know who just came after Jason Aldean on Twitter. Said, "Hey, I'm from a smaller town." Sheryl Crow. Doggone it! What you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? I mean, woke is gonna woke. Tell me you saw the Mitt Romney hot dog video.
I absolutely did. I did. Boy, I saw there's Pierre Delecto in the halls of the Senate wearing a cap and holding a big old hot dog.
And did you see what he had on the hot dog?
No, what?
Ketchup. Now there's a big. I know that's a big debate, and here and now I got to out myself. Now I got to expose myself. You know what I love on a hot dog?
What?
Ketchup. Oh, I love some ketchup
only
on a hot dog.
Only ketchup?
Only ketchup. I love a hot dog with ketchup any day of the week. So now I'm shamefully like Mitt Romney.
That's it, but only in that way, please.
Oh, that's it. That is only way.
Download the podcast and hear all of Mike and Mark's conversations at MikeOnline.com for the M&M experience.
Always enjoy the M&M experience. Hope you do too. Thanks very much for joining us. Have a great day. Be safe and keep fighting the good fight. I'm Mike Gallagher. God bless America.